Hello, Peak Skill families, and welcome back to Peak Flicks. This is Math, Grade 5 with Mrs. Rossi. So, what is it that we're going to do today? We are going to be solving word problems with fractions. And I know you're going to do a great job, but before we get started, we're going to do our warm-up with some fluency. You're going to see that today's fluency looks a little bit different than the days of the past. So please pay very close attention, and I know that you can get the correct answers. So I'll be with you in just one moment. And welcome back to today's fluency. Today we will focus on finding the missing divisor. You will see that these questions are set up differently from all of the ones that we've done before. So if you find that you would like to go through and try it again, you can always rewind the video and go back and retry for a second time. Thanks for joining us today. Let's get started. 18 divided by what number would be equal to 3? Give you a little extra time for today. 18 divided by 6 would be 3. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. So that's 3 times 6 is equal to 18. So you need to use your multiplication/division hat to solve these problems. All right, on to the next one. You did a great job with that. Kiss that brain of yours. Here we go. 18 divided by what number would give us 9? If you said 2, you are correct. Let's keep moving. 18 divided by what number is equal to 6? In other words, 6 times what number would give you 18? If you said 3, you would be correct. Let's keep moving. 18 divided by what number would give us 18? If you said 1, you are correct. 18 divided by what number would give us 0? Hopefully, you've seen that we've been using 0 a lot, and the answer here would also be 0. 18 divided by what number would give us 1? The answer is 18. 20 divided by what number will give us 2? The answer here is 10. 10 times 2 is 20, or 20 divided by 10 is equal to 2. Great job. Let's keep moving. 20 divided by what number will give us 4? The answer is 5. 20 divided by what number will give us 20? The answer here is 1. Great job. 20 divided by what number will give us 10? The answer in this question is 2. 20 divided by what number will give us 5? The answer is 4. 20 divided by what number will be equal to 1? The answer here is 20. 20 divided by what number will give us 0? The answer is 0. Now what? Keep practicing. Kiss your brain and build those math muscles. You can practice your multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction on Reflex Math. And please keep practicing each and every day. Those brains are getting smarter and stronger. And every time we practice our facts, our brains are getting ready to do the best math work. All right, we'll see you in just a moment for our questions of the day. All right, so let's get ready, let's get set, and let's go. Let's subtract some fractions. And as you can see here, both of our questions today are mixed numbers with subtraction. So I'm going to go to my sign paper. I'm going to show you how to do the work to find the answer. And when we get back, I will reveal the answer.
All right, for this first warm-up question, we have 2 2/3 minus 1 1/8. And you might notice that we cannot subtract the fractions quite yet because we don't have equivalent fractions for the 2/3 or the 1/8. We need to find a common denominator. And what we're going to do for that is we are going to list the multiples of 3 and 8 to find it. So down here, I'm going to have a little T-chart. I can make it up and down, I can make it sideways, but I'm going to list the multiples of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. I'm out of room. Hopefully don't have to go too much farther. The multiples of 8, we have 8, 16, 24. Oh, I just found my magic number. So 21 is the least common multiple between 3 and 8. And actually 3 times 8 is 24. So that works too. So I'm going to rename this 2/3 into a fraction that has the denominator of 24. Then I can subtract. So I need to find my equivalent fraction for 1/8. So 8 times what is 24? And I find it that it's 3. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3, making it like basically multiplying by 1. 8 times 3 is 24. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times what number is 24, I ask myself. And the answer would be 8 here. Again, I'm just really multiplying by 1 to get an equivalent fraction. 8 over 8 is the same thing as 1. 3 times 8 is equal to 24. 2 times 8 is equal to 16. Okay, so I have my equivalent fractions. I'm going to bring over my whole numbers. I'm going to just put them in a different color. So I have 2. I'm going to have take away 1. 2 take away 1 is 1. 16 take away 3 is 13. And 24 is my common denominator. Now, if I want to go back and check to see if I can reduce it, 13 is a prime number. So unless the denominator is a multiple of a prime of this number, there's nothing I can do. And so I know 24 is not. So 1 and 13/24 is my final answer. Let's get ready to solve problem number 2. And this question is 11 3/8 minus 8 5/6. And again, I see that the denominators are not the same. So what I'm going to do to find the common denominator without just doing 6 times 8 is I'm going to list the multiples of them. This is a little different than what we've done before. So I'm going to do that right here at the bottom. I'm going to list the multiples of 6 and the multiples of 8. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just counting the multiples of 6. I'm going to count the multiples of 8, and I'm going to find the one that's least common between the two of them. So we have 8, 16, 24. Oh, I think I found my least common multiple right there. I don't need to go any further. So I see this number 24. And I'm going to make that my common denominator for this question. So if I want to make the denominator 24 for both of these, I need to figure out what do I need to multiply by. So 6 times what is 24? Did you say 4? You were correct. So whatever I do to the bottom, I'm going to do to the top. Remember, I'm really just multiplying by 1 to find an equivalent fraction. So 6 times 4 is 24. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay. 8 times what is 24? If you said 3, you are correct. Again, it's going to be 3 over 3 because we're really multiplying by 1 for an equivalent fraction. 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so I've renamed these fractions. The whole numbers are still here and we haven't changed anything about them. But just like the last question, this one requires regrouping. Okay, I cannot subtract 20 from 9. So I'm going to borrow or unbundle the 11. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to take this 11 and I'm going to turn it into 10 plus 1. Okay, this 1 I'm going to bring over here to this side. And in this case, the 1 is going to be equal to 24/24. Why is that? Because that's the common denominator that I'm using right now. So my total, when I borrow or ungroup the 11, this becomes 24 plus 9. So 24 plus 10 would be 34. Or subtract 1 would be 33. And we don't have to do anything to this number. It remains the same, 20/24. Okay. Now, I have the whole number 10 and the whole number 8. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring them over here. So 10 and 8, and I'm going to subtract. So 10 take away 8 is 2. 33 take away 20 is going to be 13, and my denominator is 24. So 2 and 13/24 is my answer for this first one. Excuse me, the second one.
All right. Wow, I was really sweating doing all that work. As you know, the answer for this first one, 2 2/3 minus 1 1/8, will be equal to, drumroll please. The answer is 1 13/24. Awesome job. All right, now for 11 3/8 minus 8 5/6, drumroll please. It's really kind of cool to make that noise. We have 2 13/24. That's really cool. 13/24 is coming up twice in this. I don't know why. All right, let's get ready to our next question today. This is our first word problem. We're going to be working through it together. And then, of course, you'll be working on your independent problem right after that. So on to the next slide. Take it away. All right. Ooh, a Johnny. A Johnny had a birthday party last week. His cake was shared over 2 days. At the first party, 1/8 of the cake was eaten. Later on that night, 5/7 was eaten. How much cake is left? This is a little tricky because you don't really actually know necessarily where to start, and I'm going to help you out with that. So the two questions that we're really focusing on, what do you need to do to solve this problem? And what strategies can I use to help me solve this problem? All right, get your thinking caps on, get ready to do some math. We're going to go to the side paper, we're going to work through this problem, and then you'll be able to work on your own. So, take it away.
So here's our question about a Johnny. A Johnny had a birthday party last week. His cake was shared over 2 days. At the first party, 1/8 of the cake was eaten. Later on that night, 5/7 was eaten. How much cake is left? Explain your thinking and include a statement of the solution. Okay, so for a Johnny's question, it's kind of tricky because we don't know exactly where to start. But we know that it is a piece of cake. So the piece of cake we know is divided up over the course of 2 different times. Okay, so the whole piece of cake is worth 1 whole. So we're taking 1 whole and we're subtracting 1/8. And then we're also subtracting, we're going to get an answer. And then whatever answer is there, let's call that question mark. And then we're going to take question mark and subtract 5/7, and we're going to get our next answer. Okay, so let's start with the 1 take away 1/8. So I can probably do that in my head. So 1 whole minus 1/8, and this question mark would be very easy for me to come up with 7/8. How did I do that so quickly? Well, the first thing that I did is I looked at the whole number 1, and I saw that I needed a denominator. So I can cross off the 1 and rename it as an equivalent fraction of 8/8. So 8 take away 1 is 7, and when we subtract with fractions, we have to have common denominators, which we already had. So 7/8 is what they had at the first sitting, or the first party. So 7/8 is left. Okay, so I'm going to put the 7/8 in here and substitute that for this question mark, because now I know what the question mark stands for. 7/8. And I'm going to subtract 5/7. So you'll notice for this question, we have to subtract multiple times, and that's okay. I cannot subtract because I do not have a common denominator. So I'm going to go ahead, and since 8 and 7 are so close to each other, I am just going to multiply them together, and 8 times 7 is 56. So I'm going to rename this and this with a common denominator of 56. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to then figure out my equivalent fraction for 7/8 which has a common or a denominator of 56. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 7 sevenths, which would be like multiplying by 1. So 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, and then I need to make an equivalent fraction with 5 sevenths with 56. So in this case, I'm going to multiply by 8 over 8. Again, that's like multiplying by 1. 7 times 8 is 56. 5 times 8 is 40. And then I'm going to go ahead and subtract. So 49 take away 40 is 9 over 56. All right, so I want to see if this is in the lowest terms. So I see the 9, and I know 9 has factors of 1, 3, and 9. And 56, I know it has at least 2 because it's an even number, and 7 and 8 because I multiply them together. So I don't really think that there's a good chance with being able to make it smaller, but I'm going to check. I'm going to especially check for 3 and 9. So 3 cannot go equally into 56, and 9 cannot go equally into 56. So this would be my final answer. So I need to write my statement of my answer. So I would say, after both parties, a Johnny's cake had 956 remaining. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check that just to make sure I did what I needed to do. He had a birthday party last week. It was shared over 2 days. At the first party, 1/8 of the cake was eaten. Later on that night, 5 sevenths was eaten. How much cake is left? Explain your thinking and include a statement of the solution. So I'm going to show you this a little bit different of a way. It kind of helped me to understand fractions a little bit more. I'm going to divide my cake up for the first round into eighths. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to separate this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to say that 1/8 was eaten. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shade that in, and that's what's missing. That's what got eaten. Okay, and then the second day we have, or the second time it was eaten is 5 sevenths. Okay, so over here I'm going to divide my other side of my cake into sevenths. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it said out of the entire cake, right? We had 5 out of the 7 were eaten. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark those off as eaten. So 5 of these sections were going to be eaten. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I can't eat these because they're already eaten, so I've got to go ahead and put 5 in over someplace else. So I'm going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And so, all of the shaded spaces, which are the dots and the slashes, are all pieces of cake that are missing. Okay? So I've divided this up into an array, and that there are 8 sections going this way, and 7 that are going this way. So my answer is 956 is left. So I'm going to go ahead and check my answer to see if that is in fact true. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, and then there's 1 left, which was 9. So pictorially, or by a picture, I can tell my answer is correct. And for you to really understand fractions, being able to use a picture as well as doing standard algorithms for fractions is very helpful. So I've proven with a picture, I've proven with the algorithm that I know that after both parties, a Johnny's cake had 956 remaining. Okay, so you've done a really great job. Stay tuned for our next question.
All right, mathematicians, this is the part where you get to prove how smart you are. So here is our question for today. Salim and Tate both play football over the summer. Together, they play in 10 and 7/8 of the 12 games. How many games did they not participate in? How many games did they not participate in? Okay, that one's a little tricky. Make sure you have your paper and pencil ready, or your whiteboard and marker and eraser ready. Put on your math thinking cap. I've got mine on. Take a few minutes, work this out on your own, and when you're ready, you can unpause the video and you can see the answer and how I found it. Maybe you found it in a different way, maybe you found it in the same way, but let's get working together. All right, pause that video. See you soon.
All right, for this question, we're going to be talking about my two friends, Salim and Tate. They both play football over the summer, and together they played in 10 and 7/8 of the 12 games. How many games did they not participate in? Explain your thinking and include a statement of the solution. So here's this keyword, not, okay? So I'm going to draw this like a tape diagram. So there are 12 games total. So I'm going to separate this up into 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there's 12 games. This bar represents the total of amount of games. So they participated in 10 and 7/8. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 7/8. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and make this into 8 sections here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of those 7/8, there would be 1/8 left, and then this would be the whole. So I would say that my solution is Salim and Tate played in 1 and 1/8. They did not play in 1 and 1/8 of all of the games. So this is a picture, and now I'm going to show you with the standard algorithm. Okay, so 12 is my total number of games, and I'm taking away 10 and 7/8. Now this can be a little bit creepy because you see a whole number and then you see a mixed number and you're not sure what to do. It's actually pretty easy. What we're going to do is unbundle this 12 to be 11 plus 1. Okay, so we're going to cross off the 12 and make it 11. And then my 1 that's over here, I'm going to have a common denominator and make an equivalent fraction to 1. And in this case, it is 8/8. Okay, so I have 8/8, take away 7/8, I get 1/8. And 11 take away 10, I get 1. So this answer that I had gotten over here with my tape diagram is the same answer that I got here with my standard algorithm. So now it's time for me to include my statement of the solution, okay? I can say Salim and Tate did not participate, that means play, in 1 and 7/8 of the football games over the summer. Okay, so I took the total number of games, which was 12, and I subtracted the games that they did play in to find the amount of games that they did not play in. Okay, and I can also go ahead up here and I can kind of circle my answer so I can tell exactly what the answer is. And I'm pretty proud of the work that I have done here. Okay, kiss your brain, and we'll see you here next time.
All right, Peak Flicks math scholars, you have done an incredible job today. But you're not done yet. I'm going to need you to go on to Zern, Reflex Math, or most importantly, fill out an exit ticket for today's work. Please show us how smart you are and what you have learned from doing the lessons here on Peak Flicks. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day. It was wonderful teaching and learning alongside of you. Take care.